Hey, welcome back to my channel. Day 10. This is it. All right, so post a 30-day water fast. I've now landed on day 10 of the refeed, and I feel fine. I'm just, like I said, getting my routine for the next steps. But I've been taking a lot more greens. My calorie count is definitely up there. Probably I was aiming to get about 2,000. I stopped counting, but again, once I knew what that looked like, I don't need to measure out every single day. But I'm probably between 18 and 21 up and down, just depending, how much of this or that I have. So I'm pretty comfortable with that, and I'll lock that down now as I'm really looking to figure out what my day-to-day will be going forward. So what I wanted to do today is actually just kind of give my takeaways, top 10 or so takeaways from doing a refeed, just kind of summing it all up, might add value to someone who's looking exactly what to expect, or how to go about, or how to start researching how to do a refeed before actually doing it. And even for myself, because like I said, not sure when I'll do another extended fast, and it's good for me to have this reminder of actually what I did. So I'll just go through those, and any questions, comments, just drop them below, and I can further elaborate or have further discussion on any points I can bring up. So my first takeaway, which I've highlighted quite a few times, would be research, research, research. Ideally, even maybe before you go into an extended fast, definitely if you haven't while you're in it, start looking up, understanding what to expect during the refeed process, because the refeed is just as important. Your body's still going to be in a kind of a fast mode. You have to kind of bring it back to life, so to speak, because if you've been in a long fast and not using your digestive system, you have to bring it out of that, awaken it. So my one highest thing of doing the refeed is do your research. My second takeaway would be know your refeed window. Again, the longer the fast you do, you should be refeeding for a longer period of time to slowly bring yourself back to, like I said, to functioning mode of having no longer being on a fast. You need to know because you don't want to do it suddenly. You don't want to end one day, then the next day just suddenly throw everything at yourself. So make sure you know the time you're looking at. Even if you do the refeed, like I've said, I feel today, it's day 10, that I'm pretty, I don't want to say back to normal, but like I can almost eat anything, but I'm still going to take another 5 days or so, continue what I'm eating, just to make sure my body is slowly, getting to where it needs to be before I start throwing in any kind of other food, whether it be processed or anything else. So most definitely know your window. And even if you're just doing a short fast, whether it be, an 8-hour, 12-hour, 24-hour, you can still, you don't want to undo what you just did. You want to kind of extend the feeling of the fast. So why not even give yourself maybe just even a 12-hour refeed, where you just kind of slowly maybe just do fruits, or just do high water density foods, or something along that lines, and not just dive back in. So takeaway 2, make sure you know the length of your refeed. My third takeaway that I felt was important is knowing the foods what I was going to be consuming during the refeed. Again, know what your dietary choices are. Like I said, a lot of research, it seemed like the number one answer, or the number one suggestion, would be bone broth. I'm vegan, so I wouldn't do that, but find what works for you. If bone broth is fine, but maybe something's being put out there you don't even like. Maybe you don't like the taste of something, or you just doesn't work with you, doesn't agree with you. You don't have to do that. So just have your foods, and kind of maybe the order of how you're going to introduce them. And like I had in my particular situation, I was going with papaya because I heard that's a really good choice. I didn't really like the taste of it very much prior, but I still did it intentionally because I wanted to reintroduce the fruit to myself. But what I did find was a lot of the fruits I chose were way too sweet. So I definitely had others that were kind of like in my box of refeed options, and I could slowly say, okay, we'll leave those for later, pass those on to the family, and let me go this way. So instead of going super sweet with the papaya and the pears, I went cucumbers and tomatoes and more greens. So know what you're going to eat and what's going to work for you. And an extension to that as well, I would have to note to myself, is that I did my water fast now, which was in October, ended in November, and my refeed is now late November. I'm in Canada, I've said a few times, and a lot of the fruits are actually not really available. Or, like for instance, I can go to the store now and get a watermelon, and one I'm paying double the price, and it's going to be really washed out and have no flavor. So also maybe be mindful of the time of year. I might think next time maybe I'll do this maybe more earlier in the year, ending maybe summertime or fall, so I would have for sure melons, citrus, a lot more variety. So know your food, and then make sure, if depending on where you live, that that's going to be available to you. My next takeaway, that before, I've got them written down here, be consistent. I did mention sometimes you might reach hiccups throughout, but ideally plan to be consistent in your refeed. They say that you want to slowly build up. You may not be hungry at first, especially if you've done an extended fast. You may not be hungry at first, but you do want to get your body back into the routine of eating. So maybe on your first few days, maybe every 2-3 hours, like if your goal is to have this bowl of fruit or whatever you're choosing to eat, and you don't get through it right away, start 2 hours, 2-3 hours, and then go back at it. And just kind of be consistently introducing yourself to your food, and be consistent with what you're eating as well. Don't go from, oh my gosh, just I'll start with the bone broth or fruits, and then tomorrow you're out getting pizza. That's a little kind of harsh. So be consistent and take it slow. My next takeaway would be able to listen to your body. Learn to listen to the signs it might be giving you. In your refeed, if you're eating something that's working for you, why not have a little more of that? If that goes down easy, have more of that. But introduce something slowly, because if you eat something and a little time goes by and you start cramping, don't go that way. Definitely, I'm gonna drink some more water to help, or some liquids just to keep hydrated and flush that out. But listen to your body. Red flags, green lights to go forward, energy level, headaches. I've talked about that in one of my videos as well. But listen to the signals your body is giving you to kind of help you go forward. And if you're not comfortable with that, or you don't know what a signal means, or what something you're feeling, what it means, get help. Research, reach out to somebody, form something. But don't just kind of, get comfortable with that symptom and have no idea and have something go wrong. Next takeaway, bowel movements. I had thought early into, or even before starting the refeed, I was just kind of come out of water and do kind of a bit of a juice fast, thinking I was nutrients, getting those into my body as easily as possible. But what I learned is that you early on, after extended water fast, you want to have a bowel movement. I don't know if I really heard hours, but maybe I would say within the first 24 or so hours. Don't quote me on those hours, but it's pretty quick, because basically what's happening is once you start eating again, you would have waste, because throughout an extended fast, you're not having many bowel movements. You'll have some, but not many. But what's going to happen at the end, there will be waste that's sitting there in your intestine waiting to be pushed out, so to speak. So you're definitely, in your refeed, looking for that bowel movement to come. And again, what's going to help that is making sure you keep hydrating yourself. My next takeaway, kind of, I guess I did say the first was research, and this one is kind of, I guess, an extension of that, is to say that to keep in mind that the refeed is just as important phase as the fast itself. I think a lot of times looking at forums, the questions are always about, okay, what's going to happen to the fast? This is happening to the fast. Lots and lots of questions about the fast itself. But even when I was trying to research and find out about the refeed, I didn't see a lot of questions. Just the typical, what should I eat? But it's important for you to know and to remember that even though you may not see a lot of information about the refeed, or that's not what you see on a lot of YouTube channels or during your research, make it your intention to really understand that it is an important phase to coming out of the water fast, and treat it as such. And as I said first, do your research. All right, takeaway number 8, again, because this is, especially if you're doing an extended, and even if you've never fasted before, done a water fast, and one day you say, hey, I'm just going to go 12 hours and not drink, it can be pretty intense. So take it that way. I know I myself said that I didn't have help, meaning I didn't go to a center or anything, but like I said, I've been doing various types of fast, and I kind of worked my way up to this, and I was very alert and looking for signs to see and everything. So again, if this is not something that is something that is new to you, get help. You know, reach out. I'm sure, again, that's more research you can do to find out how you should best go about going to a fast. I'm sure even I've seen it say go to your doctor to start, so you can measure your stats, you know, blood pressure, all those cholesterol, all those kind of things, to know where you are and what you're working with. So definitely don't necessarily think everyone should, or you have to just dive in and do this by yourself. Get help if you know you think you need it. Remember, like the fast, the refeed as well, it's not a one size fits all. Everyone will have their suggestions, what will work with regards to, or what you should do, what steps you should take to come out of the fast. And most definitely there is common goals. Like, you definitely want to keep hydrated, you definitely want to get your body functioning again, being able to digest food, you want that bowel movement. But it doesn't mean we're all going to do it the exact same way. Like I said, simple as taste buds. You know, if I don't like the taste of something that you like, or if I'm a vegan, you're not a vegan, you know, we're not going to have the exact same methodology of doing it. So just remember, it is not a one size fits all. Like I said, there's many things I did that I know I've seen, I've heard people on the YouTube channels and comments say, oh, don't do this. But again, you know your history, your journey. So what works for you may work for you, and it's not a one size fits all. Know what journey works for you, what method works for you, and apply that. And just remember that you maybe look a little bit different from somebody else, but just make sure you stick and understand what the flags are and what you're trying to accomplish, and stay within those guidelines, I guess, to make sure that you are avoiding those dangers and coming out of the fast in a healthy way. This one might be a little bit kind of a crossover, but again, find support. Even if you are doing it on your own, you don't go to a center or what have you, you can still find a buddy. There's a lot of forums where people are in there and they'll say, hey, I'm starting on this day, do you want to do it with me? Same thing with the refeed. You can reach out and just say, hey, I'm not too sure of how to do this. Ask a lot of questions. Just don't remain in a state of confusion. If you aren't sure of something, reach out. It's out there. Thank goodness we have the internet, but there's a lot of ways you connect with people and get answers to your questions, or be pointed into the direction of how to get the answer to what you're looking to do. Again, I guess I'm saying this might be a bit of an overlap, but again, just don't wing it. Don't wing the refeed. When I was doing the water fast, I kind of, probably after I started recording videos, maybe about day 20, 21, I really was starting to realize, oh my gosh, like, this is an important phase. And if you don't do it well, you could really hurt yourself. And I'm saying many different ways of hurts, but even I didn't want to intake something and have that cramping, and I don't like feeling pain. So I realized how important it was, and I had kind of wished that I had known about it or did the research beforehand, because, you know, if I didn't do my due diligence, I could have gone very wrong. So don't think you're going to wait till the next day after the end of the fast and then start experimenting. I mean, some people, again, people do things like that and they get through, but don't play Russian roulette. Make sure that you know what you're getting into and have some kind of a plan of how you're going to walk out of the refeed. The last takeaway I'd say as well is have not just a plan for the refeed, but what are you going to do after the refeed? You know, you've done all this hard work, whether it's a short fast, long fast, but especially if it's an extended fast. What lifestyle practice are you going to put into place so you can continue to reap the benefits of some of those things that you accomplished on that fast, and then were able to coming through the refeed? What's after that? Even if it's something as small as you're going to try this health practice and not eat that, or just something, because I'm sure there might be another, maybe there'll be another fast in the future, or maybe not. But why not kind of make that fast you've just completed in the refeed successfully a foundation, and continue stepping forward on a positive note. So have a bit of a plan for what you want to do even after the refeed, what it's going to look like, and ideally try and, you know, not go back to what you did even before the fast. Like, what brought you to that stage? What can you do to stay away from those old habits? So that is it. Those were my takeaways. What I'm going to do now is pretty much, just like I said, for a few more days, maybe another week or so, continue with on eating, because it's fine. It's like in line with how I want to basically have my lifestyle, my food choices look like. So I'm going to continue with that. What I will do, since I'm pretty much not going to be speaking on this anymore, unless anybody has any questions, comments, like I said, put those below. I'm going to actually record, do some videos on the other fasts that I've done. So I think I've said there's been about 4 or 5. I've got to write them down. I'm just going to go through them, why I did them, the outcome of those. Won't be as details because they were a while ago, but definitely having done this process for my first extended water fast and the refeed, it's good notes, good value, I hope, to somebody else and even for myself, because like I said, it could be far and in between when I do a fast, and I don't have to go from ground zero again and research and figure out, oh my gosh, what did I do? Why did I do that? So yeah, that's what I'll be having come out over the next few weeks on my channel about the different fasts that I've done. And I do still owe myself a kind of a takeaway from the 30-day water fast itself. So I hope I hope you've had an opportunity to look back at my water day posts, the day 18 to day 30. I hope the refeed, you're able to get even just one thing to walk away from. That would be great. And yeah, so hopefully you'll subscribe and hit that bell for that notification when you'll be able to see the updates of when I post the other fasts that I've experienced. And of course, the many other cool things I have lined up as well. Thanks for following the videos, and leave a comment if you have any questions, or even just to say, hey, heard you, and we appreciate it. Anyway, take care.